Welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas, and in this episode, I'm going to cover the question, how can I do a quitclaim deed myself? So hang in there and I'll give you the answers to that. Meanwhile, I'm also going to give you answers on how to make money with tax deeds and tax lien certificates. But I'm going to end this video, so you want to stay right until the end, and I'm going to give you two things that you want to avoid at the auction so you don't make these two big mistakes. And both of those mistakes happen for people that are just starting out, that are newcomers. How can I do a quitclaim deed myself? Now, I've been teaching this for 25 years, but I need to start out by telling you I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a broker, and I'm going to tell you about quitclaim deeds. However, I can't give you legal advice, so you might want to see an attorney. If you don't do anything else, go to Wikipedia and they'll give you good definitions of quitclaim deed and what's going on. But let's see if I can help you a lot. I'm not saying that the inventory has improved a lot over the past few years, but here's what's improved. The online purchasing has made all the difference in the world. Now, there was a time, anytime we wanted to go to an auction, or anytime we wanted to buy a tax lien or a tax deed, we had to drive to the county, beg them for the list. None of that happens anymore. All of this is now online, or it's in the newspaper. In other words, you can find all the information you want without traveling. So that means you can buy tax lien certificates and you can buy tax defaulted property. In both cases, you can do them online. So what didn't change is the counties. Now, the counties are somewhat cumbersome. They're still using old rules. A lot of old people working there. They're not about to change. So you go ahead and continue to change and learn how to do that. But right now, what we're going to try to cover is how I can do a quitclaim deed. Now, what is a quitclaim deed? First of all, it's a legal instrument that's going to transfer your interest in the property to someone else. So that's how you would do that. You would transfer your interest. So that means you're going to be the grantor and you're going to have a grantee. All right, now if you use a quitclaim deed, what that really means, once you've executed it, that means signed it, and registered it at the county, now it's a legal document. And when you use a quitclaim deed, what you're doing is you're disclaiming any ownership or any problems or anything that could be wrong with the property. You are disclaiming that and quitclaiming the deed to the other person. So now, think about this. If you are to buy a property at a tax defaulted auction, the county is ultimately going to sell it to you. And when they do, what kind of deed they're going to? Well, a lot of people think they're going to get a warranty deed. Well, that's not going to happen. Other people think they're going to get a grant deed. That's not going to happen. What the county's probably going to do is give you a sheriff's deed, a treasurer's deed, or a quitclaim deed. And I'm going to tell you that all of those deeds are going to disclaim any problems on that property. Now, when a property is foreclosed on by the county, when the auction takes place, they wipe out the mortgage. They wipe out judgments. Now, that doesn't mean they take the mortgage and tear it up. They have no business doing that. It means it's wiped out regarding the property. So just because that happened doesn't mean you bought a clear title. There might be other problems. Maybe it didn't measure and it didn't work out. Something's wrong with the property. So tax properties always have something wrong. And now what the county's doing is they're transferring it to you, okay, with a quitclaim deed. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong, but it does mean that you'll have to go through a process. And when you go through the process, they're going to have to clear up any issues on the title. And that's called quiet title. All right, an attorney has to do that. You can't do it. You have to hire an attorney. So now you bought a property and they disclaim any responsibility. Well, the way I do business, and I like to buy them low because tax defaulted properties are discounted 60%, 70%, 80%. They have huge discount. So I try to buy at 20 cents and sell at 40 cents. Okay? Now, if I'm going to pass on all that profit and all that margin to the next person, I can say what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quitclaim deed, and when they go to clear the title or do anything with it, they're going to have to do the quiet title. So in other words, I'm going to pass on my interest in the property, which is zero at that point. I'm I'm going to pass on, but I'm not going to claim warranty deed or a grant deed. I'm going to say, I'll give you a quitclaim deed so you could pass that process on. So that's how you would pass on a quitclaim deed, all right? Now, are you going to do all this? Forget about that. You're not going to do this. You're only going to get a gray-haired attorney or no-haired attorney, someone that's like me that's a little older and got experience, because you bought a property and they're disclaiming any interest. So you want to either do the quiet title or you want to disclaim any interest when you pass it on. Okay, everything's above board, everything's honest and ethical. There's nobody trying to cheat anybody. It's just new rules. And it's just like if you flew to Paris tomorrow, you're going to have to speak French. Now you got to be in real estate, you got to talk about quiet title. You got to talk about quitclaim. You have to talk about it because it's not normal. All right, so if you want to do a little reference work, go to Wikipedia and find out what quiet title means. Go to Wikipedia and find out what is a quitclaim deed, okay? The important thing it's going to tell you is that anyone that's giving you one is disclaiming. They're saying, we're not giving you a warranty deed, we're not claiming anything, we're not saying that everything's okay, you're probably going to have to go out and do a quiet title. The point is, when you buy tax properties, you are going to have to do some work, and most of that work is doing research. So before I button it up for today, I've got 2 more questions, and here they come.
Ted, if you're the winning bid in a tax deed auction and you get the title search done and something's wrong, can you go back to the county and get your money back?
Okay, so the question is, if there's some defect, whether it's the title report or paperwork that's not right, and you have now already paid the county, you own it. You own it. You own the problem. You're going to have to fix it. Now, the question is, could they go back to the county? Well, you can go back to the county, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're just going to disclaim any responsibility. Plus, let's hold on now. If you had a property that was worth $100,000 and you bought it for $20,000, do you want to give it back to the county? Or do you want to go through the process of cleaning up the mess? Okay, the person that cleans up the mess is going to make the profit, right? So you might want to think about that. Now, you could go back to the county if you want to, but what you're going into is you're going into a business that has abundance, but we only get to buy C's and D properties. You're not going to get any A property. If you think you're going to get property in a country club, believe me, some broker's going to buy that before it ever gets to a tax auction. So if you get one A property in a career, that would be something. And I've seen 1 or 2 people do that. Most of the properties we get are low B's, C's, and in some cases D's. Okay, so you're not going to get great properties. But when you buy from the county, there's going to be public officials there, and I can tell you, if you don't follow the rules, you might hear from the district attorney. Now, the district attorney doesn't have to pay an attorney. He is the attorney. You'll have to start paying somebody. So you might want to think about that before you decide you're going to go to the county. I didn't say not to. I just said you might want to think about that and discuss that with someone like an advisor, like an attorney, not me. I'm just an educator.
Ted, question 2, does a child support lien follow a property?
Okay, child support. You know, this child support thing, as a lot of things do. What people do is child support is something that repugnant to everybody. Everybody gets upset about that. Guy that can't take care of his kids, everyone's going to get upset. All right, so what the attorney does is the attorney said, oh, well, he lives over there on Main Street, so we'll take up on his property and we'll attach to the property. So that means the lien for child support, which is due every week, or in some cases gets way behind, that lien is now attached to the property. But when the government forecloses, the tax lien is the #1 lien. And when the tax lien decides to go on auction, they wipe everything off the property. By that I mean, they wipe out the mortgage, they write out their child support, they're going to have a judgment for the dentist they didn't pay, they're going to have other liens on there. Those liens are cleaned from the property. I didn't say they tore them up. I said they're cleaned from the property. They're still against that person. So a lien, if you could think of it as a nut and bolt, it attaches to that bad guy's leg because he still owes the child support. A lien still attaches. By that I mean the mortgage. Those people can't walk away from those. They still owe those. And until Obama came along, they had to pay him. But we'll see how that does in the future. Okay, let me button it up now. Last 2 things, I want to make sure that you don't miss these. And it's very important, okay? And why do I say it's important? I don't want you to buy a property that you haven't seen. All right, so if you don't have boots on the ground, or you don't have eyeballs on it, or you don't have someone that's going there that you can trust, and you're going to buy a property, you don't want to do it unless you've done all those things. Why? Maybe it's blown away. Maybe it's burned down. Something's wrong. You are not going to go back to the county and say, well, the property burned down, there was nothing there. They're going to say, we sold it as is. Read the documents. The document says sold as is. Why didn't you check it out? Well, it was your job to do that. All right, the second thing that you don't want to do, and newcomers do this all the time, is they get excited, they're determined, they really want to buy at the auction. I get that, they want to do something. And the property that they just wanted, someone outbid them, so they start bidding on properties that they haven't determined their exit strategy. If you don't know what you can sell it for goodness sake, don't buy it. So what is my strategy? Buy it low, sell it low. Buy it low, sell it low. After you've done it for a few years, you might buy it low and sell it high. After all, every real estate course teaches something different than I do. They all say, buy it low and sell it high. Well, good luck to that on properties that aren't too clean. All right, but if you take properties that are tax properties and sell them to people that want to fix them up, buy them low, sell them low, works all day long. So I'm Ted Thomas. If you'd like to be part of what I'm doing, I'd like to have you in my community. We do lessons on a regular basis. We'll pass those on to you. And if you join the community, I'm going to give you a gift, G-I-F-T, gift free. I'm going to give that to you. And what is it? It's a mini course. And the mini course, in the first part of it, tells you about tax lien certificates. And the second part tells you how to make big profits in tax defaulted real estate. So I'll see you on the next video.